Hello and welcome. This is Yana the Heretic, and this is my channel, The Unpopular Opinion Becoming Popular. And I just want to warn you all, my cat is extremely needy at this time, so you're probably going to hear his chit-chatter. And, when you have animals, they truly own you, no matter what time it is. So, stay aware. I might get mauled, and I'm totally safe. But I want to talk about Gate 3 this week. As you can see, I am still in the same domain, and I'm still searching for the right habitat for my future. So the next settings that I will be in will be a little bit different, maybe chaotic, who knows. We have about until June 4th to settle somewhere else. Give us all of the beautiful wishes towards our mutation, if you will. That would be extremely appreciated. Gate 3. Gate 3 is the gate of ordering, and it is considered difficulty at the beginning. And it's going to be filtering from April 15th to the 21st. And we are in the godhead of Janus. And I expressed that Janus is the Greek god of passages. And we will be filtering this for the next 3 weeks until we are going to be in a completely different quarter of energy, and the theme is going to be different. So last 3 weeks of complete mutation. Are you ready? I am. And also, this is one of the 3 sacral gates that we will be filtering this month. And the sacral energy is very much the pulse, the buzz, that I just want to do something, just let me just do something. Let me do something new. Let me change and mutate the environment. And the sacral is all about fertility. It is about our genes and our genetics, and it is the pulse and rhythm of how we do things and the desire to do things. All generators have a sacral, and generators are 70% of our population, so you're feeling a lot of this buzz from many, many people. And all of the other auric types are exhausted because we just run and run with our motor energy and respond to things, and other people are like, wow, I don't really care to do that. That's too much. So this particular gate is connecting to the root, and the root is another motor. So it feels like this mutation is constantly occurring. This is the Indiana Jones of the situations around you. This is like coming into a new doorway, into a new passage, and just being like, what is here for me to play with? What buttons do I push? And how do I get to the next stage? How do I get to innovate something new? And it is very much chaotic. And the reason for that is you step on one plate and there's arrows or fire coming at you, or the door is closing in and you have to somehow scoot by underneath the door before you get crushed. This is considered the riverbank that is eroding. This is the lack of structure. In order to become the individual. So this is very much an individual gate. It's not collective, and it's not tribal. So the difference is that somebody who is a part of a tribe views this outsider that comes into their setting and their environment, and they're like, whoa, this person's got something new, something cool about them. And they definitely welcome this person. Well, not always in history, but for the most part, they're like, oh, there's this like lone traveler. Let me get to know what they're about. They seem very interesting. And that's how this individual comes in and mutates the beliefs of the tribe with its new knowledge, this new experience. But sacral very much in this gate has to wait for the divine moment. And that is all based off of your strategy and authority. Is your emotion in the way of making the decision? Are you asking yourself yes or no questions from your gut, or are you reacting from pure instinct? Those are the main three authorities. There's also a few others I will describe in later videos, but mainly this is that or for you to decide if you want to start to innovate. This is very melancholic because this is like a psychedelic trip for gate threes when, you know, you all of a sudden hit that peak moment where you're like, I feel so connected in this web. I know how we are all connected as human beings or life forms on this planet. And then in a minute, you forget entirely what the fuck you were thinking and how we were all connected. And that is that clinging fire of Exodus. It's that, you know, chasing the tail of the experience. And therefore it could be chaotic, right? So you feel melancholy because you're never sure. You're confused. You don't have that structure of how you do things, you know? It seems very like pieced out. And this is very genetic, right? So this is about understanding your limitation in your body. This is about your parents yelling at you and going, no, you can't do that. You're going to fall and you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to break your arm. You're going to burn yourself. So that's that limitation, is that, you know, these people tend to be the soul and the passion so much that they forget that they have a body they need to take care of. You know, they plunge into different things with their body and they realize, oh shit, there's a limitation present. And it could be extremely frustrating because all you want to do is expel this energy. And you want to really take life, you know, in your own hands. But on this earth, we live under laws, right? So you have to abide to those laws, unfortunately. And if you deny them, the more constricted it can become. Laws of gravity, you know? We are still learning how to obtain different perspectives and different collective thoughts on how matter actually works. And I'm not saying that magic isn't possible, but you have to really truly try, right? Yeah, this is the way that generational, cultural, and reproductive genetics change. So we are in that constant kind of jolt of energy to want to do stuff, to want to experience new things. And I hope that most of us enjoy this burst of energy and this rhythm that comes through, because we are still mutating, we are still experiencing new things in this form. Other than that, gate 60 is the harmonic gate. This is the gate at the root, and it is the gate of limitation. So this is where the 3 and the 60 really work together to create the channel of mutation. And this is what helps the 3 really know when to act on the whims and to innovate something new, is when gate 60 is present. And gate 60 is all about knowing the discipline. It's still extremely uncomfortable to be limited, to be like, oh, I'm not, 6'4", and I'm not going to be the best player in like basketball or something, but they're more aware of this limitation, whereas the 3 doesn't really understand that, and it can harm itself easier. So the 60 comes in and it's like, here's this limitation. We got to work with what we got. And it does allow the 3 to stay more disciplined, because the 3 just wants something new. And therefore it doesn't really get to sit down and enjoy learning the mastery of what they're meant to do. They're going from one experience almost to the next in order to shift. So we have the potential of extremely fertile energy this week. We do have the channel of mutation streamlining for us on April 20th, just for that day, really, just about 10 hours during that day. So we get a little bit of release of that pressure, because that's what happens as well. It's the gate 3's feeling the pressure of wanting to do something, but not really sure when to take action. So April 20th, we'll release some of that pressure. We'll sit with what we have created and what we've done. And you're going to be buzzing this week. So I hope that it's all for the best and everything falls in line. Let's see, what are the questions of the week? So, when you are channeling the mutation 360, there's a potential for a radical shift, a potential for what is considered a quantum leap. So you see the doorway open, and that's your opportunity, and you dive into it, and there you are. You're in a completely different space, a completely different situation, and you took that risk, and you're like victorious in that risk. When is the last time you've experienced something like that? When is the last time you wanted or have seen yourself go through a quantum leap? Do you even remember? Do you value that? It's important to remember what you've accomplished. Were you the type of kid that got hurt because of attempting the impossible? How long did it take you to learn that there was a limitation? Did you know that fire burned you, or did you try it 10 times? Maybe you have a 3 in your definition. That could be extremely validating to know. People are defying physics every day with their body in calisthenics, endurance, all types of boarding, skiing. I'm talking about boarding the snow, water, the concrete, circus acts, endurance. Do you believe you can achieve these acts, or do you typically shut yourself down? Why do you think that is? These things take time, and I always recommend some grounding practices to help you not give up on things that are extremely valuable to experience in your body, in your physical body. That confidence really stems from within. And you know that if you're dangling off the side of a mountain, you can pull yourself up. You are protected by the body. What new equation have you brought to the environment? Did you feel like it was the right time? And if not, would you try it again? So this is about, particularly not waiting, and you responded to something, or you wanted a response and you like blurted something out and, it was the wrong time and the wrong place. Did you give up on those passions? Or are you able to try again? And on that note, that will be it for Gate 3. And I will see you all next week. And I hope you have a lot of fun with this mutation. Thank you.